Hello, I'm Cal. Welcome to another video. This is the 5th video in the console build series of videos. In this video I want to show you how to install games onto your games console, which is run using this brilliant piece of software, Blast 16. There's a couple of ways of how to do this. You can do it through the network, so this is the easiest way I think that everyone can follow. So I've got a list of games that I've drawn inspiration from this last video that I did. I did ask for game suggestions for the Mega Drive. A kind person from Tripware, that name rings a bell, has suggested Dynamite Heady. Also, a friend of mine, a fellow YouTuber, Old Style Gaming, has recently done a video on the Sega Mega Drive Mini and all of their 42 games that's going to be included with this games console in order of greatness. I didn't want to copy all of the games that are on this system because that's not what I'm about. I wanted to create my own games console, or sort of create my own games console. I didn't want to copy or influence anybody away from this Mega Drive Mini because I actually got one on order. I actually want one of these machines, and with 2 controllers, games console, I think it's really good value, and I have got one on order and I can't wait till it comes out. Right, the games that I've chosen: Dynamite Heady, Tripware from my previous video, and I've gone through all of the comments from this video. Any positive comments on here with disappointment from games that were missed from the list that's going to be produced with this new Sega Genesis or Sega Mega Drive Mini. Games that are missed I've drawn up and I'm going to put together in this video, and I'm going to show you how to do that. From a previous video you've seen how we can download all the different bits that are included with the software. So if you go to page 15 of the manual, you will see that there is a way of introducing the games to the games console with a pen drive or a USB stick, but it has to follow a certain format. So in this video I'm going to show you how to follow that format and just go through the process with you. So there is a particular order that you need to put these games into, different files or directories, and these are then absorbed from a USB stick when the console boots up and then puts them onto the SD card, which is the main memory on your games console. So as I am doing the Mega Drive, this is the format that applies to us. So we've got to create different directories and put the files into the different directories. If you are using different systems like the Mega CD, you may need a BIOS file that needs to be put onto this system. We don't need one for the Mega Drive itself, so that's a bonus, but we have got to create another directory called MD where we will put all our Mega Drive or Genesis ROMs inside there, and then for the Boxart we need to create another directory within MD and then put all the Boxart inside that directory. We can then plug that into our games console, and then the games console, when it boots up, it will automatically scan for USB sticks that are plugged in and then pull all this information from the USB stick and then save it onto the SD card within the games console. I have a list of all the games that people have suggested on Old Style Gaming's comments for his video that he did, and here's a list of all of those. From the Blast 16 site, I have already downloaded the Boxart for the Mega Drive or Genesis, which is a zip file. I ended up in the downloads folder and I've just put it inside into another folder locally. All you need to do is to right click on this, and using 7-zip you just need to extract the files here, and then it automatically creates a folder of all the Boxart for all the different games. So we've now got a list of games and then a list of all the Boxart. So what I have been doing is picking out the different Boxarts, matching them up to the actual games themselves. The titles of the different Boxarts has to match identically to the actual games themselves, because there are different versions of these games. So I got Rocket Knight Adventures, we've got a few of those, so we're after Rocket Knight Adventures USA.zip. So Europe, Japan, USA sample, and then just USA. So I'm just going to right click on there, copy, and then pop it in my Boxarts, and then paste it. Right, so I've done that. All the Boxarts now are in the Boxarts folder here. There was, well, I'd say all of them. There was one missing. I think it was Streets of Rage. The first Streets of Rage wasn't on, or wasn't part of these Boxarts. So I will come back to that at a later stage. What I want to do now is just get this sorted correctly. So we need to match this up to the file format which the manual refers to. Okay, so first of all we need a directory called games. Okay, so what we'll do inside of here, we will make a directory or new folder called games. That's all lowercase on there, so just keep it as the same file format or same format as what is there. So we've got one called games. So inside games we need a directory called MD. So we need all of these, including the Boxart, within this other folder. So if I just extend it here, if I just highlight all of these, what I want to do is drag them inside this games. One of our Boxarts need to be inside this other folder as well, so I'm just going to copy that and then drop it inside games. So now we've got a directory called games, and inside that we need another one called MD. So we'll go inside games, double click, so we need a new directory or folder, and we'll call that MD. Just MD in lowercase. Okay. So it says we've got to put all the ROMs inside this folder called MD. So that's what we're going to do. Highlighted them all and just drag them into MD. So all the ROMs are inside MD. So now we should have another folder called Boxarts, all in lowercase, inside the MD folder. So the Boxarts are still in this folder, and we're just going to drag that and pop it in MD. So now we'll go inside MD, double click, and then we've got a folder called Boxarts. Here's all the games that we need. They're in the right place, but this Boxarts folder is differently spelled to that one. So what I do is just click once on here, click twice separately, not double click, and then it's allowed us to go into there to change the name of it. So I'm just going to delete, press the backspace key, and then change it to how it is on the instructions. So it's all lowercase, Boxart, and then S on the end. So inside this Boxart folder is going to be all the artwork. Okay, so we can just go up here or back. So we're going up. All the games are in this folder called MD, including all the Boxarts. Up one more, and we've got directory called MD. Yes, that's where all the ROMs are and everything else. And then we go up one more, and there's a directory called games, and everything is within this games folder in the right sequence. If you're actually struggling to find any games or anything like that, you can look on the internet for these types of things. I can't tell you exactly where to get them from. One other YouTuber that I've watched a video on recently says look for no intro ROM sets for a particular game system, and you should be able to find them that way. And I've got a Facebook link there, so I'll click on my Facebook page, like this page, and then you'll be able to see the different links within my Facebook and see what groups I'm in, because certain types of media are less restrictive. If we needed to, we needed a BIOS folder as well, so I'm just going to create another folder called BIOS, and I think that's all in lowercase as well, so it's BIOS. There we go. So we've got BIOS and games, and if we needed to, we could create all these other different folders. Also, if you've got multiple systems, if you've got the same game on a different system, it messes around with the save state if they're the same name. So what I am going to do is I'm going to rename all of these just to make sure that they all match up with each other. So I'm just going to select this file here, and then I'm going to press F2. If you press F2, gives you the option to rename it. Okay, so I'm not going to delete it all. I'm just going to, because this is the Mega Drive, I'm just going to put MD and then press enter. So what I want to do as well is, if I select this again and then press F2, it'll copy just the title name, and if I press Ctrl and C, it will copy that title name. So if I click off it, but then if I go to this file and then press F2, press delete, and then Ctrl and V, it copies the title name exactly as what this is. So I know when I press enter, they're going to match completely because it's copied from this file here. So I'm going to go through all of these and do that for all of them, and then I'll come back. Right, that's all of them renamed now. I know that they should be the same file name as each other because they've all got MD at the end for Mega Drive. So what we need to do now is just get this information onto a USB drive. I've actually plugged a USB drive in, which is this one here. So I'm just going to go onto here and press format. Right, so the file system itself is defaulted to exFAT. If it's down as FAT32, I would change it to exFAT, because if you've got large files that you're copying across, if it's over 4 gigabytes, some of the games might be, and on the other systems it will not copy to this USB stick. So I'll change it to exFAT. Blast16 doesn't really care what file system it's in, so I'll just change it to exFAT and then press start and then press OK. You don't have to rename the drive or anything for Blast16 to recognize it, so just press close. So what I will do is open that in a new window. According to the manual, we need the BIOS and then games, and everything is in here that we need for the Mega Drive. So what I'm going to do is group them together and then copy it across to the USB stick. So everything is in the correct file format. Obviously there's nothing in the BIOS folder because we don't need it, but just thought I'd put it on there just for people that might be using that. And then inside there's all the Boxart. That's the correct file format. So that then is now ready to plug into the games console that we've created together. I will just add, I am using a retro flag classic USB gamepad, a picture on screen now, and the instructions here are that we need it to be in D input. So for D input, we hold the Y key down and then plug it in and then turn the games console on. So I am going to do that first before I put the USB stick in. If you don't do this with this controller, then some of the buttons do not work on the controller. So when you come to play the games, you cannot play the games because some of the buttons do not work. So do this first. As explained briefly just, I am using the retro flag Mega Drive controller, and it's the D input mode that we need. So have a read through the manual like I didn't do originally, and make sure that the controllers that you've got match up to the specifications of Blast16. Right, so this is me turning it on for the first time with this image. So I'm just going to turn it on, it's just going to boot up. You do get this message come up, but there's no problem at all. So it just says please reboot. Okay, just going to turn it off then. So what I'm going to do is just unplug it and then turn it back on. Welcome to your dome. There we go, all booted up. Okay, so it's looking for controllers and things now. With this retro flag controller that I have got, I've got to put it in D input mode. So I hold the Y button down and then plug it in. And I'm just going to plug it into port 1. There we go. That seems to have found that controller, so I'm just going to release the Y button. Well, there's no music. That's because I put it on silent, because I was recording. There we go, that lovely music. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is turn it off, shut down. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just get the USB stick that we've copied the games onto. So what I'm going to do is unplug the controller, put the USB stick in that same port. I mean, it might work off the other port, but I'm not sure. So I'm just going to do it this way. Just turn it back on. And then the software will automatically look for a USB device and then copy all the information from that USB device from the different format that we've put in there, i.e. games, Mega Drive, all the games, then Mega Drive, Boxart and all the Boxart. And I think it resizes all the Boxart as well, so if you've got some that are a little bit different shaped, slightly, and what you must remember to do is leave the USB stick in until you get to this screen where you can see all the box art. If you pull it out early, you might corrupt the image, or not all of your box art might copy across. Even though it says on screen to take the USB stick out, I'm sure I've seen that. Wait till it boots to this screen first before you take out the USB stick. So I'm just going to unplug it now and then plug back in. Oh, Streets of Rage. For some reason that's not copied across. So let's have a look at that. Everything else looks nice and crisp. Puzzling. So, which one should we try? Mega Man Stalker. Maybe a classic Golden Axe. So, I'm just going to test the buttons here, just try and change this to a favourite by pressing C, and the C button works. Lovely. So if you press B, we could go to one of the load states. Obviously we haven't put any load states in there yet, so I'm just going to press B again, and now I'm just going to play this just to make sure it works. So this should all be pre-configured. There is a way to change the button around and everything else, but I'm not going to go through that with you in this video. There's going to be more videos going on with this. I want to show you all the different controllers. Well, not all of them, but some types of different controllers, and the menu system as well, which you can actually back up and everything on using this software. That's what I want to get into for you guys. So there's only one player. Arcade. A little dwarf. Very dairy. Okay, so B is jump, C is jump, and that's how you land on your face. I could use this controller. Right. Had to be, wouldn't he? I hate it when it does that. You lose a life on the first stage. Peer pressure. Right, see the special move works? Yes it does. Just like spamming the elbow. These controllers, don't be disrespectful, but it doesn't feel like obviously a PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4, that sort of quality, but it is responsive. It does feel light in the hand, which is okay. I mean, if you've been playing for a while, lightness in the hand is probably decent as well, isn't it? I'll do a little review of these controllers as well at some stage. So I thought I'd better just show you how to actually exit one of the games. So I believe it's select and C, and that will take you back to the main menu. There we are. Didn't want to leave you hanging, stuck in a game, didn't know how to get out of it. Don't forget to check the manual with all these shortcuts on how to save games and everything else, but I'm going to go through all that in a later video. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and also check out my Facebook page. Yeah, it's quite hard to concentrate on the game while you're doing this. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and also check out my Facebook page. Leave a comment below. Just let me know what games you like on the Mega Drive. I might compile a list of all different games from this video. I'm hoping you're enjoying and learning from this process that we're going through together. My name is Cal. Have a good morning, afternoon, or good evening. Farewell till next time, and I will see you later. As he hits the ground. Double teamed. Yes, queue up to get chopped. Yes, we've got it now.